We'll get the nod for Florida State. One of the biggest crowds this year for the Gators. Line was all the way around this ballpark, 2 hours before first pitch. As Kaylee Mudge takes the first one downstairs. We're underway right on time, 6:02 p.m. Eastern. It's a beautiful evening that will turn into night for softball. Taylor Swift night. So we'll drop in some lyric references as it goes along. We already got 2 in. We'll see if we can, I don't know, maybe get about 10 in tonight.
Tweet us, see how many you can get from us tonight.
2-0 to Mudge, and that's a strike. When you look at these two offenses, Alicia, top 7 in the country between the two in batting average, top 5 in overall scoring offenses. Not in their conferences in the country. Next 2 in the zone, 4 strikes to Mudge, 2-2.
Yeah, like I said in the open, I think it's going to be a battle in the box tonight. I talked about these pitchers just trying to find their footing. We're going to see a lot of hacks today, but Ava Brown trying to gain some confidence in this midweek. A big game for both teams. You mentioned the RPI rankings, Florida sitting at 15. I'm sorry, Florida State sitting at 15, Florida at 17.
Count now full to Kaylee Mudge. Yeah, it's very big in terms of a resume-boosting win for either one of these teams. They're right on the bubble right now of being a top 16 host. To win tonight would go a long way. Count work full to the leadoff, Kaylee Mudge. Serves this in the air down the left field line. Twist foul. Kaylee Mudge, one of the longtime Seminoles who has been a part of multiple trips to Oklahoma City. Of course, the Seminoles winning a national championship in 2018 under Lonnie Alameda. Last year, Mudge, second team All-ACC. Awaits the payoff, whips one to center on a line. Falvey goes back and makes the grab right in front of the warning track. 1 up, 1 down for Ava Brown. And that'll bring in Jason E. Beecham, who we featured in our open, who's had one of the best seasons that a freshman has had in Florida State history.
And I just love her story. I mean, she's doing so well for the Seminoles this year, but she grew up going to Florida State camps.
Swings to the first, high drive, playable right center. Falvey calls off Kistler, 1 pitch for out number 2. Yeah, Tallahassee kid, that's a cool story, and goes to hometown Florida State. She's the reigning ACC Player of the Week, has already won that twice this year, looking for the freshman RBI record for Florida State.
I love to see freshmen coming in and making immediate impacts. We see a lot of youth on the softball field tonight in both teams.
Kaylee Harding takes strike 1. She was hit on the hand against Boston College early in that series, so dealing with that. Fouls back, strike 2. Both teams relatively healthy heading into tonight. Florida State not just healthy, but playing some of their best softball of the year. They've won 10 consecutive games and 18 of their last 19 coming here to Gainesville. They're 36-10, Gators 37-10. And an 0-2 just steers inside.
Not just this season, but in history with Florida softball. I mean, winning the last 5 matchups. Florida's looking for some redemption right here with Ava Brown in the circle.
A 1-2 to Kaylee Harding. Jammed on the fist to Avery Gels. Easy play. 1, 2, and 3 of Gator lineup. Starting with Kendra Falvey, the table setter. Leads this team in multi-hit performances with 21. She's had a great year, hitting .401 on the season. You know what's interesting? I was looking today. The top 5 batting average in the SEC individually are all Florida Gators.
I would definitely would feel a way if I had to step on the mound and face a Kendra Falvey or a Jocelyn Erickson, even Skylar Wallace.
And it's the top 5 in the lineup in order. They're all top 5 in the league in batting average.
And you know, I forgot Corby Otis, who has gone 6 for 9 this past weekend. Just a powerhouse. And imagine being a freshman and me be good in. This is really good time to gain some confidence facing one of the best offenses in the country.
This one taken high and out, 3-1. Falby enters first in hits in the SEC, 13th nationally. High on base, slaps this the other way foul. We've seen her at times stand in, grip and rip for extra base hits. Had a big triple over the weekend against South Carolina. Gators had to come back on Sunday of that series. She was 2 for 4 on Sunday. A game-tying triple. Gators were trailing by 3 heading into the fourth. Were able to fight back. A couple of big swings from Jocelyn Erickson and hold on for a 7-6 win.
Well, I think that's what makes her so good, Kyle, is she has the ability to drop down a bunt, to slap, and has been working on her stand-in hitting game, which has allowed her to broaden her horizons in the box. And not to mention that, but also her speed. I mean, she's just so fast she can lay the ball down, and that's all she needs to do to get to first base and be safe.
Gooden's payoff. Falby fights this one off again. Count remains 3-2. The decision for Lonnie Alameda to go with Mimi Gooden, the freshman. There you see Tim Walton in his 19th season electing to go with Ava Brown tonight. 963 wins at the University of Florida. Will be an NFCA Hall of Famer coming up in the summer. As Falby jogs down to first with a full count walk. You look in the other dugout, Lonnie Alameda was an NFC Hall of Famer elected in this past summer. 16th season, national champion in 2018. Over 750 wins. Went to the championship series last year and lost to Oklahoma.
We got 2 NFCA Coach Hall of Famers on the field right now. Big congrats to Coach Lonnie. She also got her 900th win at Florida State this past season. Really done a great job with her program. 22 All-Americans in her tenure. And a lot of ACC pitchers of the year. I mean, you talk about what she's been able to do with Waldrop, with King, Sandercock, the list goes on.
Count now 1-2 to Corbiotis on a 7-game hit streak entering the night. We mentioned that she leads country in on-base percentage, ultra consistent, team best in batting average at .451. Waits on 1-2. Slams this on 2 hops to short, could be 2. There's 1 to turn, a double play. Goes 6-4-3. Torres, Flaherty to Ross.
And what a big out by the Seminoles. Torres playing up the middle, right where Corbiotis hits it. Has a sense of urgency to get this double play. A big out by the top of the lineup.
For Corbiotis, that's the first time she's grounded into a double play this year. And here's now Skylar Wallace trying to find her way here in the month of April. It's certainly been a tough start to the month. The average still at 383.
You said hit into a double play, and I immediately had flashbacks of Skylar Wallace this past weekend. But I want to talk about how her batting average has been down this month at 114. Rest of season 484, but she still comes with an intimidation factor in the box. She's still hitting the ball solid. Getting on base.
This one struck to left in foul ground, and that one is caught by
For both teams, and always one to look forward to as a player and, as you can see, as a fan.
Here's Issa Torres, the tremendous freshman shortstop, taking over for Josie Muffley since graduated. Part of the youth that has really sparked this Florida State offense. Swings at strike 1.
Everyone was asking, how are you going to fill Josie Muffley's shoes when we talked to Coach before the game? But Torres has came in and hasn't skipped a beat. Has great numbers. And a solid defensive shortstop, as you saw in the first inning with her double play.
You look at the production from the youth, specifically the freshmen. We've had 6 freshmen make a combined 130 starts. 35% of their hits have come from first-year players at this level. And the only Power 5 team that has had more freshman production, that's Iowa. And now the world of the transfer portal, you go out, get more veteran players. It's been the youngsters who have stepped up for Coach Alameda. Torres back up the middle. Williams was shaded that way. Quick toss to first to get the speedy Torres, 4-3. Brings in now Devin Flaherty, one of the veteran pieces of this Seminole lineup. For a group that's won 10 straight, 12-1 here in the month of April. They're coming off a sweep against Boston College over the weekend. Flaherty eyes strike one from Brown. Really the last 19 games, where they've won 18 of them, they've averaged 8.5 runs per game. And it was a slow start given their schedule. They had a stretch where the Seminoles did. They lost 4 of 5 against the likes of Alabama. A series against Duke, they lost 2 of 3. Lost to Texas. Lost their season opener to Charlotte at home.
I think you can attest that to just meshing together. Sometimes it takes younger players, underclassmen, even upperclassmen to just find their footing as they continue down the line of season. But now kind of meshing together on and off the field a little bit more, has been able to be more consistent, not allow as many runs, get some more wins under the belt.
First 4 sat down from Ava Brown, 2-2 here to Devin Flaherty. And that was the biggest thing that Coach Alameda said when we talked to her in the pregame, is understanding the failure as freshmen early and how you bounce back against some of those failures. And they've done just that. They've hit this 10-game winning stretch, longest of any Power 5 team currently. Looking to win the ACC again this year, currently in first place. Browns 2-2. Jammed off the fist foul. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Alicia, you look at where the Gators are in the SEC. They also are in the hunt for possible SEC regular season championships. So both of these teams are trying to fight for something much bigger in their conferences coming up.
That's always why it's such a great game, because both teams are always so elite, always firing on all facets. Talk about their pitching, finding their footing. I think they're hitting that stride, but just so devastating in the box.
That one floats high in the payoff. Flaherty battles back in the count. It's the first base runner for Florida State. Brings in now Janai Kerr.
Number 4, Janai Kerr.
And that's how the Gators and the Seminoles are going to be successful, just limiting those free passes, not giving the hitters an opportunity to bring more runs in that are unearned.
Whip to left field. First pitch ambush from Janai Kerr goes opposite field. She continues to have a great year after a career season last year where she hit .356. Now hits in 7 of her last 9 games in an early circle meeting here. On 1 out after the meeting. Big spot early in this game. And a change-up strike.
I just love how fearless, you caught that?
No, I love it.
I love how fearless Ava Brown is in throwing her off speed early and often to keep these batters guessing.
By the way, for those that don't know, it's Swiftie night, so Alicia dropped in a Taylor Swift reference on us.
I did my due diligence on the way here and tried to look up some song names.
You know about 3 Taylor Swift songs, Alicia. At least she's trying,
Just
though.
3.
0-2 to Waycaser, taken high. Some of the fans coming into the ballpark getting a Taylor Swift giveaway shirt that has Albert and Alberta on it. I guess much like the Eras Tour t-shirt that you get when you go to the concert. Line down the right side, foul. And that's part of why the line was wrapped around, the longest I've ever seen it, about an hour before first pitch. You look at this crowd, this might go down as a top 5 attendance mark tonight. But the crowd was wrapped all the way around beyond right field. I've never seen that before. There's strike 3. Inner edge and a big K for Ava Brown after that meeting. Gets Waycaser down looking.
And that is how you bounce back. Really big out by Ava Brown. Getting ahead in the count 1-2. Really using those words from Coach Dobbins. Applying it directly. Getting 2 outs for the Florida Gators.
Brings in now Katie Dack, formerly of the SEC at Texas A&M. Seeing more reps behind home plate with the injury to Michaela Edenfield, who took some of her first batting practice today, coming back from that injury.
It's always a tough thing to get injured during season. Some things are just out of your control.
3-0 here to Dack. Edenfield out with a broken finger in what she coined as a moment of frustration in a weekend series against Louisville. Lapse in judgment, she also called it in a Twitter statement. Saw her playing catch in the pregame. One of those top 6 hitters from last year back on the roster from a Women's College World Series Champ Series group. There she is, Kayla Edenfield. You see the wrapping around that right hand.
But you know what I love? She's still doing her makeup.
Roller to Williams. Ava Brown into and out of trouble. Games in recent history. Seminoles have won the last 5 in this all-time series. Mimi Gooden back to work in her second inning. The freshman deals low and away to Jocelyn Erickson, who once again came up big in the finale against South Carolina. A swing in the 6th to tie the game, and a swing in the 7th, or I should say the swing in the 6th to go ahead, and a swing in the 4th to tie it against South Carolina as the Gators were down 3 runs. Now an SEC best 59 RBI. Alicia, what's the best part of watching Jocelyn Erickson hit for you?
I think just the professionalism that she has, stepping into the box each and every time. She's laser focused, always has tunnel vision, and just takes her hacks.
Gets hit right on that arm guard. It's the one place to get plunked.
I'm glad she was wearing one.
Coming up for the top of the 3rd, we'll talk to Lonnie Alameda. Always great chatting with Coach. We call her Coacha. That's her nickname. One of the best in the country. Most consistent programs. Just elite. As Reagan Walsh takes strike 1. Reagan Walsh having a career year. 14 home runs, 51 RBI. Quickly down 0-2.
See, the approach seems to be a little bit different on both teams. You see Florida State just being a little bit more aggressive than the Gators have been thus far in the game.
Look at the progression from year to year for Reagan Walsh. Chopper foul. And really is busted out in a big way. Talking with Eric Thomas, the hitting coach for the Florida Gators, he mentioned that her confidence is just sky high. The swagger that she has in the box, it's all different. And it's shown in what she's done, hitting .395, the ultra consistency in which she's gotten on base. High bouncer again, stays fair. Beecham bobbles, reclaims, throws across for the out. Moves Erickson down to second, one gone in the inning.
It's still a productive out. We talk about her confidence. She just hits that ball straight to the third baseman, allowing Jocelyn Erickson to get on second base.
Two freshmen on the left side of that infield for Coach Alameda. Torres at short, Beecham at third. And here's a freshman at the plate, reigning Gatorade National Player of the Year, Ava Brown. Every time I've talked to Tim Moulton about Ava, he has mentioned you in the comparisons to what you did as a Swiss Army knife two-way player.
I just love to watch Ava do her thing on both sides of the ball.
Drills this to center field. Kerr goes back, and this is off the base of the wall. Erickson scores easily. Ava Brown cruises into second, helping her own cause. The Gators' first hit and their first run have a 1-0 lead.
It's one thing to pitch and hit, but it's another thing to be good at both. She takes this drop ball low in the zone and hammers it to the center field wall, gaining an RBI and putting the Gators up on the board.
Kerr just having to play that off the base of the wall. Ava Brown, 6th double of the year. As Kowalewski sprays the first foul. And what's interesting, you look at how the month of April has gone for Ava Brown. The bulk of those hits, except for one, have been for extra bases. It's her 5th hit of the month of April. You look at her now, last 9 hits, 7 of them have gone for extra bases for Ava Brown. 5 homers and now 2 doubles.
And that's impressive. I mean, Ava Brown's not leading the team in stolen bases or anything of that sort, but she is putting her barrel right behind that ball, teeing it up, get those extra bases.
This is popped up, Beecham over, and foul ground makes the grab. And 2 outs, so the RBI double from Ava Brown has given the Gators an opening lead, 31-4 this year, and the Gators score first, and now Mia Williams comes to the plate. And a meeting inside the circle. Interesting in terms of the way the lineup is set up for Tim Walton. Mia Williams hitting 8th. Katie Kistler will be the double leadoff in the 9 spot. And tonight you see the future of this rivalry, right? All the freshmen, including in the circle. 2 highly touted freshman classes. As Williams swings through strike 1.
Yeah, Florida State having the 3rd best recruiting class in their freshmen, and Florida having the #1 recruiting class coming in. Definitely a lot of talented youth on the softball field today, and a lot making their way into the starting roster.
Mia Williams, a part of that youth, highly touted freshman, labeled as a phenom. Had her notable struggles to begin her career. She's had the ups and downs of any freshman. And they hope to get her going to possibly lengthen this Gator lineup a little bit more than what they get out of second base. And a 1-2. Popped up, out of play.
I talked to Coach Eric Thomas in the fall just about the freshmen and the dynamic of their lineup, and he said it was going to be tough to try to make a lineup because of how much depth that they have offensively and how many people can really swing the bat.
We have 1-2 with 2 out and the offering. Count even. Got a Freshman of the Week honor. That was in late March. A big series against Kentucky. We've known she'd be streaky as a hitter. very good defensively. Swing and a miss. Gooden went to the off-speed well, gets the K, but the Gators get on the board first. The head coach of the Florida State Seminoles. All right, Coach, this environment, this is fun. Gators and Seminoles, this will probably be a top 5 crowd in this series history. Just the overall environment, this is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they do such a great job here. Softball's grown in our state so much. We were talking earlier pregame. It's just really cool. Our game is so much fun to be a part of right now.
Yeah, amazing to be a part of. We talked about your youth in the circle, on the field. What led to your decision to start Mimi Gooden today?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important for us to continue to grow not only your skill sets, but your mindset. You know, this is a big environment. So if you don't get opportunities to get out here and kind of feel this, and I think she's doing a good job staying in, taking her breaths and connecting with her defense. And that's been a big growth thing for her, so which has been awesome. But we're going to get a chance to get everyone in today. And I think that's going to be big for us as we go down the line here and try to get after making a run in postseason.
All right, Coach, appreciate it. Best of luck.
Thanks,
you
Coach.
all.
Good
Thanks.
luck.
All right, Lonnie Alameda, 16th season as head coach of the Florida State Seminoles, NFCA Hall of Famer class of 2023, the reigning ACC Coach of the Year. She's done it all. Won a national championship in 2018. Samaya Ross fouls back to first.
Got her 900th career win at FSU earlier this year. I mean, a phenomenal coach. Everybody I speak to just speaks so highly of Coach Alameda. I mean, even comes out to Athletes Unlimited to support. I mean, I think that speaks volumes about her character and who she is and what she does to grow the game.
Well, Ava Brown so far, Alicia, you look at the last inning, gave up a walk and a single with 1 out, so 2 on, 1 out, was able to work out of any further trouble. Looks pretty solid so far. This is popped up off of first, tailing foul. Your thoughts on her performance so far early?
I think, she gave up a free pass, but I definitely think, what Coach Lonnie said about her freshman, Ava Brown, has also been taking her breaths and just kind of staying within herself, trying to figure it out. And I really do want to see her limit those free passes and try to make her ball break through the zone and get some more swing and misses, some miss hits. But a really great job at getting out of that rut.
1 walk so far. They came to Flaherty in the second. And a payoff coming here to Ross, who's a premier athlete. Well off the plate. Full count walk. Both walks from Ava Brown coming on a full count pitch. Now that turns the lineup over here. That's big because now it's the top of the lineup here for Kaylee Mudge.
And that's exactly what you want to do in Amaya Ross, the 9th batter. Turn over that lineup. And I will say she is going to be devastating on the bases. You look at her numbers this year, 23 for 34, second in the ACC.
Mudge whips the first to shallow center. Ball be the shades on. 1 pitch for the first out. I like that answer, too, from Lonnie Alameda about exposing the freshmen to this environment. Jason E. Beecham being one of them, but you look around, there's not an empty seat. You embrace these types of moments early in your college career if you're a freshman. And if you're Ava Brown, same thing. You get a chance to play with the juice of the home crowd.
Yeah, it's always great when the fans can give you energy and you can give it right back, but to speak on these big crowds, I mean, I think they prepare you for something so much bigger when you get down the stretch to learn how to play in front of those big crowds when things get extremely intense, especially with this Sunshine Series. You're going to see a lot of intensity throughout this game.
0 for 1 for Beecham. Flew out to center. Rips this on a line. Right field side, just foul. Boy, does she have power. 12 home runs. 50 RBI, trying to climb her way to the best freshman season in Florida State history. She's only the 3rd true Seminole freshman with 10 or more home runs in a single season. She's chasing the freshman RBI record, which is 58. Rolls this back to Brown, knocks it down. Underhand flips, picked out by Gels. That moves up the runner to second, but now 2 gone as Beecham starts this rivalry 0 for 2.
And a great job by sticking with that play, Ava Brown. Allowing it to hit her, bobbling a little bit, but staying true to that, running over to first base and getting an out. But really productive by Beecham to move Ross over to second base. With her speed, she could probably get to home on an infield hit.
Harding rolls this over just foul of third. Kaylee Harding having a career season. Part of those vets that's been to Oklahoma City. This year hitting .352, looking for a third consecutive season hitting over .300. Has 10 homers this year. That secured a third straight season with at least 10 homers. Takes inside, 1-1.
And Harding, another Seminole with speed. Second all-time in school history for career doubles.
Swings away at the change. That's Brown's best pitch. 1-2.
An opportunity to come out unscathed right here. A little bit of wiggle room when you look at the count. And 1-2.
Bounces that in. Ross, big secondary lead. And we know the arm that Jocelyn Erickson has behind home plate. She'll toss it down there to test the runner.
Does love to backpick. Has had some success doing that this year.
This one high in the air should do it for the frame. And it does. Another grab from Falby out in center field after the League One when it comes to building a resume for hosting. Seminoles having won the last 5 in the all-time series. Right now, Ava Brown's RBI double off of Mimi Gooden. That is your difference coming in the second. 9-1-2.
And you'll hear a lot of conversation surrounding the bubble when we talk about postseason. Who's making postseason? Who's hosting a regional? Right now, these teams are on the cusp of either hosting or not hosting a regional.
Kistler rolls this over, sneaks into right field. Batting in that double leadoff, that's one way to start it. For the Gators, that is their third consecutive leadoff base runner.
What a great way to start the inning. Got to look at the stats on that, but when a leadoff batter gets up, how many are they scoring? Last time it was a free pass. This time a base hit.
Time is called from Florida State.
And go into super regionals where there will be 8 teams playing at their home field.
And plenty of resume boosting opportunities coming up for both teams when it comes to their conference tournaments as well. In the ACC, you got 4 ranked teams. Duke, 5th ranked team in the country. Virginia Tech, Clemson, all ranked in the top 25. 10 SEC teams in the top 25. Falby, high chopper to second. Flaherty spins, tosses for 1. They get the lead runner in Kistler. No way you're turning 2 on Kendra Falby. So replace Kistler for Falby. 1 out in the inning. Coming up in the top of the 4th, get a chance to talk to another soon-to-be Hall of Famer. Tim Walton, 2-time national champion. Otis takes the first tie. I always jokingly say that this is the place that Walton built, but it's kind of true. You look at the success that he has brought to this program consistently over the last nearing 2 decades. And the investment along with the university and now other universities in the SEC. For a while it was dominant. Florida or Alabama was going to win the SEC. Now, take your pick. I mean, it's every weekend is tough to win a series.
You just have so many big names. Big bats, strong pitchers, just leading the way in the SEC. And when you talk about Coach Walton, you just have to give him his flowers. I mean, take a look at the outfield wall. You can see all the World Series appearances. The SEC championships.
I think what impresses me the most when he's coached teams that have not been his best statistically, he still has found ways to get to the World Series. And this year, you look at what the Gators have on this roster with top batting averages. Look at the top portion in the league. Otis bounces this to the hole. It's short. Nice diving stop by Torres, but no play. That'll be a hit for Corby Otis, now first and second, and Skylar Wallace comes up in a big spot.
How about Corby Otis finding a way, this drop ball on the outer part of the plate. Torres shaded up the middle, just can't get to it in time, but a really athletic play to stop Kendra Falby, who is so aggressive on the bases, from claiming third.
How good is she? Is really hard on herself. Expects almost perfection. One of the true grinders of the sport. Awaits the first, takes strike one. Flew out to left her first time.
That's what makes the good players great. Wanting to be great, and that's why she's so competitive, because she expects that out of herself.
The on base is still very high for Skylar Wallace.
You know, it's so easy for a player to take themselves out of a ball game when they're not producing as much as they want to, but like you said, her on-base percentage is still high, still disciplined.
Takes a borderline strike. Scott Mayer, home plate umpire. Eric Segaldo at first. Anthony Small is our third base umpire tonight. We'll be hearing it from both fan bases, who are heavily represented. And the pitch. High chopper, right side of the infield. Flaherty, gloves, underhands to first. Just got Wallace for the out. It does move the runners over. So second and third, and a two-out opportunity for Jocelyn Erickson. This is where she's thrived.
I don't know about you, Kyle, but I would not want to be on the mound right now with Jocelyn Erickson up to bat with two runners in scoring position, with the game like this being down 1-0.
Second and third, two gone. First base is open, but you have the protection of Reagan Walsh, who has been just as good as Jocelyn Erickson. So if you want to pitch around Erickson, you have to go up against one of the best sluggers right now in the SEC. Erickson was hit by a pitch her first time, came around to score in that run-scoring double from Ava Brown. That's our difference. Swings away, pops this one up in the infield. Should end the inning. Beecham comes in, turns the glove over to make into Lonnie in the last half inning. But look at this crowd, how softball has grown, this rivalry. This is a pretty special environment, isn't it?
Yeah, before the game, you got obviously a bunch of people lined up down the first base side, left field side, just hundreds, if not 1,000 people down the way. It's a great thing. You look across the country, but you know, even more importantly with Florida State and Florida, just the number of people that come out and watch us year in and year out. It's really special.
Yeah, it's a great environment. I'm wondering how you guys are going to make an adjustment off of Mimi Gooden in the circle right now, another freshman for Florida State.
Yeah, we just got to do a better job of staying behind the ball. You see a couple of the balls just being elevated a little bit, just being a little bit a tick out in front. She's definitely mixing quite a few different speeds. Not quite to your off-speed level there, Lily, but she's definitely going up and down and changing speeds. Just got to do a good job staying on our legs a little bit longer and hit the ball through the middle of the field.
All right, Coach, appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you. Go
Thanks,
Gators.
good luck.
All right, Gatorade coach Tim Walton, appreciate him joining us. Dealing with his young team, as is Lonnie Alameda. And this is a big confidence boost for either one of these teams, who have played a lot of nail-biting close games of late, trending in that direction once again. Only one hit for Florida State against Ava Brown. And it came from Janai Kerr. It's Issa Torres, the outstanding freshman who leads off here for the Noles. Smokes this on a line. Mia Williams made the catch. Didn't have to make that throw to first. Did so just in case. I like the cheers, too, for Isa Torres. You hear that, Alicia?
Yeah, love it, the energy. Isa hits this ball on the tee. Mia, like you said, Kyle, throws it to first base just in case. She's been solid at second base for the Gators.
Devin Flaherty walked her first time. Worked the count full. Back in the second inning. Rips this on a line to left, right towards Corbiotis.
Quick inning so far. 2 outs on 2 pitches, both solid line drives. The Seminoles trying to make adjustments and make them fast to try to get that run back.
Lone hit coming from Janai Kerr. Stands in here, bases clear with 2 gone. Well, this is a big confidence start for Ava Brown. 2-time SEC Freshman of the Week. Was a National Freshman of the Week. Smokes to Otis, back to the track, leaps, oh, she got it! Off the carom!
Emma Wilson, just under 30 innings this season, gonna throw in the high 50s. Does locate her fastball really well, but you're gonna see a lot of rise out of her. So up in the zone.
Take on Reagan Walsh here in the Gator 4th inning. Walsh, Brown, Kowalewski. Right now the difference, the RBI double from Ava Brown. Wilson right now pitching to just north of a 4 ERA. Only 8 appearances last year. He's doubled that this season. Taking on one of the more hotter hitters in this Gator lineup. Powers this, left center field, right on cue. Reagan Walsh has left the yard. Number 15 for number 15. And the Gators double up their lead. It's 2-zip.
Reagan Walsh doing Reagan Walsh things. Her 15th home run of the season. Takes this ball with upspin and just sends it into orbit at the Jumbotron, putting the Gators up 2-0. I mean, this is what Reagan Walsh does.
She has not missed a whole lot of pitches that have caught a lot of the plate this year. She has punished pitchers. And a rude welcome for Emma Wilson, who gives up her 5th home run of the year.
And Emma Wilson, who has tremendous upspin. That ball just tailing up in the zone, already providing that height. All Reagan Walsh has to do is turn and burn, and she does just that.
First home run for Reagan since the LSU series. Just missed a home run against South Carolina down the left field line. That one went 270 feet. Brown clocks a line drive foul. So the Gators now 2 runs on 4 hits. A couple of extra base hits off of Seminole pitching.
Coach Lonnie Alameda said that we'll see a lot of different pitchers tonight. It wouldn't be the first time that they pitched by committee during one of their games where they've used 3, 4, 5 pitchers in the circle against their opponents.
And this is the post-Kat Sandercock world, who pitched a lot of their innings, had different roles.
I like how you said post
Yeah.
Sandercock world,
Yeah.
not team.
Of course, the Gators had to undergo a lot of change in their staff when Kelly Barnhill and yourself graduated.
You gotta kind of distribute your innings a little bit differently. Sandercock having the brunt of the innings with over 130. And McKenna Reed, who is another one of their pitchers last year. This year only having 10 more innings than she had last year. But now, and some of the freshmen that you see in the circle, and Gooden and Danley.
Brown smokes this to left field, but playable. Kaylee Mudge has the grab. Near the handle. Brown just mishit that one, looking for a second extra base hit.
She was all over it, though. I think she was just a little bit late on her turn.
Brings in now Ariel Kowalewski, who swung it well of late. Has the average up to 290. And the first one to her from Wilson is a strike. When you watch Reagan Walsh now, Alicia Ocasio, as a great hitter yourself, what are some of the things that maybe you're seeing from the things she's doing differently this year?
Well, just watching her throughout this season and in the past, I just think she hits so many different pitches well. I've seen her hit home runs on low balls, seen her hit home runs on high pitches. I think just her ability to get behind the ball, get her barrel behind the ball, stay through it. I think she's an expert. She's doing a really great job for the Gators and hasn't changed much, like Coach Eric Thomas said. Just her confidence throughout the years has gotten so much better, and you can see that direct translation in her numbers.
And we showed you the numbers, 8 home runs last year. She's hitting really well in SEC play, too. The average is not dipped in the league. Kowalewski right past the originator into center. That's another bat that's starting to get going. The freshman third baseman has the Gators' second hit of the inning.
Kowalewski with a little bit of redemption after popping up her last at-bat.
We'll have a pinch hitter coming up here in the 8th spot. Emily Wilkie is going to pinch hit for Mia Williams. Wilkie had a pinch hit RBI single over the weekend against South Carolina. One of the veteran bats, has elite type power. Not a whole lot of opportunities this year behind Jocelyn Erickson in the depth chart behind home plate. Takes the first high.
Being a pinch hitter or even a DH, designated hitter, is a tough job to have. Got to stay in tune and stay alert, attentive throughout the whole ball game. When your name is called, you have to get up there and perform. But she does it with such ease. Has done a great job in this role.
Wilkie in her senior season. Hit 263 last year. It's 6 home runs. And a 2-0. So not a great start from Emma Wilson in relief for Mimi Gooden. A home run. Didn't get the fly out of Brown. A single. And the first 3 out of the zone here to the pinch hitter, Emily Wilkie. Room service, strike 1. Emma Wilson did pitch 2 2/3 over the weekend in that sweep against Boston College. All coming in one game. 16th appearance of the year. And that's ball 4. 5-pitch walk to Emily Wilkie, so again gets the job done in a pinch hit spot. And here's Katie Kistler, who singled her first time. With the top of the lineup looming, this could be a dangerous inning here for the Seminoles. Florida left 2 on in the 3rd, with some of their big bats up in that inning. First pitch, Shack, strike 1 to Kistler.
The Seminoles pitching staff got off to a slow start this season. Coming into this game, with a 3.60 ERA, but is finding their footing, limiting that big inning. In the last 19 games, FSU's only allowed the team to score over 3 runs, as opposed to the first 27 games where teams scored over 3 runs in 17 innings, as opposed to the 5 in the last 19.
Yeah, the pitching has definitely improved, and that comes with the freshman getting more innings. The senior here in Emma Wilson. That same token, the ERA has been cut in half over the last 16 games. And a group that's won their last 10, 18 of their last 19. And a 1-2. Kistler checked her swing, no appeal. Ball 2.
That's what you want out of your stuff.
Yep.
Down the stretch, you only want them to get better as you face these top teams, these ranked opponents down the stretch in postseason. You only want your pitchers and your whole team to only get sharper, and that's what this staff has done.
The offering smoked out to right field. Wade Kaser has the shades on in front of the warning track. Both runners retreat. Just a loud second out for Kistler. Tim Walton looking to Ariel Kowalewski to ask, why didn't you tag up from second? The Gators now will get the top of their lineup to the plate here. The details for Tim Walton.
Remember them like it was yesterday.
When you made a base running mistake, Alicia, you just kind of look away from Tim Walton?
Nah, you want to.
You got to embrace it, right?
But you can't. You got to own it. Just like you own your successes, you got to own your failures. I think that's how you deal with the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs of playing elite level softball, because you are going to fail a ton. Got to know how to deal with that failure and look it in the eye and figure out how to get better, how to be better.
1-0 to Falby. Here's a strike. Speaking of learning how to live with failure, that was Kendra Falby's start to her college career. It was up and down at times. Streaky freshman year. What a really good one. And she had issues dealing with the failures at this level. Rolls this to short. Torres pinched in. Snap toss to first, not in time. Jet-like speed from Kendra Falby. There in a flash, bases loaded. And the inning continues. We'll see if Lonnie Alameda wants to challenge this. She might have a case here.
Wow, and you just gotta tip your cap to the speed of Kendra Falby, but Torres made such a great play with her sense of urgency. It was a bang-bang play.
See if we get another look at it. Again, Falby has long strides, gets down there quick. Torres knew it. She was pinched in, knew she had to get it over there in the blink of an eye to get Falby. You can't have any wasted motion. So it's a big call here. This is either end of the inning or get one of the best hitters in the country to the plate with the bases loaded. Ball's got to be in the back of the mitt. Oh, boy. Now, is it in? So what's interesting is they use the verbiage of confirmed. Usually you'd say stands are upheld on a close bang-bang play like that. Confirmed tells me that there was no evidence to overturn it whatsoever, which to me, I don't know about that, looking at the replay.
And the rules do get that nitty-gritty for all who are watching. The verbiage means a ton when you're looking at the rule book and determining what plays to make, what to look out for, how to position your body. I mean, kind of shocked the world the other day with that UCLA game.
Yeah.
At home plate. Talk about plays like that. That verbiage means a lot.
Now to 1-0. Otis swings, floats one in the air, center field, should end the inning. So they got Otis up, and she flies out to center. Wilson limits softball, and the results as Hallie Waitcaser starts off the Seminole fifth.
Smiley will be in the team room and occasionally peek out just to check the score. It gets a little bit too nerve-wracking for him, but I'll tell you one thing, he never has a bad day. Always a smile on his face. That's why they call him Smiley.
Right back up the middle. Base hit for Hallie Waycaser. Good way to start with the bottom third of the lineup up here for the Noles. Tying run comes to the plate here in the 5th. And Ava Brown was cruising along, Alicia.
She was, and Waycaser came up there with a plan last at bat. Struck out looking. So coming into this at bat with redemption on her mind.
Well, a pinch runner now at first. Annie Potter, transfer from Mercer. Has played here with the Bears under Lindsay Fico, former Gator, now head coach at Mercer. Big spot here for Katie Dack. One on, nobody out. First tours up the ladder. Katie Dack homered over the weekend against Boston College. 2 hits and 5 at-bats. Fouls the next. Has struggled entering this game. It was 2 of her previous 16 entering this one tonight. Both of those hits against Boston College at .299 last year. That was her first year with the Seminoles. Slugged at .604, 11 home runs. And a 1-1. That was after just 1 season with Texas A&M. She hit 13 home runs, drove in 40 in 43 starts with the Aggies. And now a 3-ball count.
These moments might not seem as big as they are, but I think for the freshman,
Possibly in a late game situation. Now the count full. And that's the interesting aspect of this rotation for Tim Walton. He's never had a team where he's not returned at least 1 pitcher. That's the case this season. It's all new. And most of the innings have been pitched by 2 freshmen. You have 3 in the rotation. Payoff is rolled sharply. Past Walsh into right center. Going first to third as Potter gets the green light. It's bobbled out in the gap, and a run comes in, and the Seminoles are on the board.
wow, Dack just takes this pitch on the outer corner, drives it to right center field. Kistler does her best to stop it, just bobbles the ball, allowing Potter to get all the way to home using her speed. And the Florida State Seminoles are now on the board. I think if Kistler could have been a little bit more sure-handed, you would have seen Potter on third base right now. Now Amaya Ross with another opportunity to get an RBI for the Seminoles with Dack on second base.
And how about the decision to pinch run for Waycaser there? The speed of Annie Potter from first base. Again, the bobble out in right center allowed the run to score. But with the speed of Potter getting there easily, I believe they'll see the line for now. Not completed. Runner at second, her responsibility. Pinch runner at second is Maddie Fry for Katie Dack. That represents the tying run as Amaya Ross takes ball 1 here from Mackenzie Wooten. And also the freshman, Ashton Danley, for the Seminoles, rushing out to the bullpen. Lines this to right field. Kistler over. She's got it, then bobbles it. What do they call? As Kistler fires in, the runner tags for third. Is it a hit or not? Do they say it was a catch and then a bobble? Not sure Kistler had that long enough. Do we have a decision here from our umpires? Right now, Tim Walton saying, what's the call here? I guess the umpires are saying this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, it looked like it was on the transfer. She did secure. It
looks like this is probably going to go against the Gators here. Worth the challenge for Tim Walton. Key spot, tying run now at third.
After further review, the call is confirmed as a no catch. No catch.
Seminole fans now getting loud here at KSP. First and third, still nobody out. And the top of the Seminole lineup coming up. Actually not be a hit, but rather an E9 on Katie Kistler. So her second error of the game. Infield is in, trying to keep that run from scoring at third. First to Mudge is a strike.
And Mudge is seeing the ball extremely well right now. Tonight, 0 for 2, but has flied out to center field in both of her at-bats, getting her barrel behind it.
5 for 12 over the weekend. Oh, lost this to the backstop. Off the carom, run, scores. And we're all tied up as Fry comes in from third. And we're all even as Ross moves down to second. It's a pitch caught in the hand of Mackenzie Wooten to the backstop.
Yeah, and this is a little bit uncharacteristic. I think she just allows this ball to fly a little bit higher than what she's supposed to, going over the head of Erickson.
So the Seminoles being doubled up in the hit column. They have tied the game. Mudge now lays down a bunt. Get the runner down to third. Wooten's throw to Walsh is just in time as she collided a bit with Kowalewski, who was still able to keep her composure. And that's just the first out. Mudge, her third successful sacrifice, and gets their freshman slugger to the plate.
That's just textbook softball. You have Mudge up, who provides so much at the top of the lineup, but just being selfless and trying to get the runner over to third base. Get her on, get her over, get her in.
And they're going to intentionally walk Jason E. Beecham, who's having an incredible season as a freshman. You have first base open. You like this call here? Intentionally walking Beecham.
I mean, that has to give you some confidence in the box. You have a freshman who's putting up astronomical numbers, and now you have one of the top teams in the country intentionally walking you. That says a lot about what you're doing and what you're providing in the box, not just with numbers, but with the intimidation factor that you bring as a ball player.
12 home runs this year, tied for second for a true freshman in Florida State history. As Erickson starts another circle meeting here for the Gators, and Kaylee Harding, who's 0 for 2, will come up in a big spot. She's put up good numbers this year. And bases duke it out.
The aggression from Harding right here after 4 straight balls out of the zone on an intentional walk. Looking for something over the plate, knowing that Wooten has to come to her. It's kind of like a, oh, you want to walk Beecham, but now you've got me. So I'm going to take a hack and make you pay for that.
Harding second on the team in RBI, 49. Behind Beecham. Infield still in with 1 out. And the pitch.
You talk about these teams and their offenses. Leading categories in their respective conferences.
Ball 3. The Gators right now have Keegan Rothrock getting warm in their bullpen. He's trying to battle through some confidence issues of her own, the freshman. Friday and Sunday starter for the Gators in SEC play. Issa Torres looms on deck. Seminoles have tied the game in this inning. Jam foul. Soak in this atmosphere.
It's always a great ball game when you get both of the top teams in Florida on the same ball field to compete. It's one to always look forward to. I said this before as a player, but also as a fan, and you can see that in the stands. I mean, we got a full house tonight. Highly anticipated ball game between the Gators and the Seminoles each and every year.
Seminoles have won the last 5 in this series. This year, the Seminoles have won 10 consecutive games, 18 of the last 19. One of the hottest teams in the country. Right now, atop the ACC, and a payoff. Line to left, base hit, and the Seminoles lead. Kaylee Harding with a big swing. 3 in the frame. And it's Florida State 3, Florida 2.
Big-time players come up in big-time moments. This pitch tailing into her. She just gets inside of it, drives it through the 5-6 hole, getting another RBI, putting the Seminole Florida to play in these big-time games.
Issa Torres, strike 1, trying to drag down a bunt. Torres is 0 for 2, lined out sharply to second her last time, also grounded to the right side. I believe the chants for Issa Torres, I think they're rhyming Issa with pizza.
Stop, you're making me hungry.
And with 3 straight lefties due up here in Lonnie Alameda's lineup, Torres, Flaherty, and Kerr. Tim Walton goes to the lefty out of the pen. The only lefty in this rotation, Olivia Miller. And a 2-1. Ball 3.
Not a lot of innings, but Olivia Miller, what I love about her is the energy that she brings when she gets an out, is not shy to celebrate those victories. You don't see that too often anymore. Pitchers just being unapologetic in how they celebrate those outs, those strikeouts. And she does it every single time.
Had a lot to celebrate about to start her Gator career through 2 perfect games in the first month of the season. Changeup, roasted in the air, foul.
Talk about Issa being 0 for 2 for the day, but really leads the team coming into this game in the last 19, hitting .464. She is still hot right now, looking for her first base hit of the day.
Fouls this off, stays full. A part of this recent almost 20-game stretch for the Seminoles have really been red hot.
And this is when you want your team to get hot. Beginning of the season, you got to find your identity. Figure out what kind of team you are, what makes you tick. This is the time you want to get hot going into postseason.
Another tough at bat. In this month of April for Issa Torres has had 4 3-hit games. And a walk-off home run against NC State. To start her career, hit .467 opening weekend. Big pitch coming up, 3-2, just 1 out. Here it is. In the air, center field. Falvey goes back. See ya! Big blast from Issa Torres, a 3-run bomb. And the Seminoles put up a crooked number here in the 5th, up 6-2.
Coach Lonnie Alameda really struck gold with these freshmen. Torres, her 6th home run of the season, was looking for something over the plate, just drives this dead center field. Like you said, Kyle, putting up a crooked number. FSU puts more up. Bigger lead for the Seminoles.
Coming off a 6 RBI weekend, as the Seminole fans can now be heard pretty clearly here at KSP. Issa Torres, home run number 6 on the year. And a 6-run 5th inning. Not done quite yet. Devin Flaherty takes strike 1.
that's not unfamiliar territory for Torres either. You mentioned her walk-off against NC State, but she also had another one this year against Texas Tech. So she has been known to produce in those high-pressure situations.
Kowalewski dived for the bunt. Flaherty will reach, try to catch that one on the fly. Really gambled on that bunt laid down. It will be a hit for Devin Flaherty.
And a good effort by Kowalewski here, trying to dive and keep that ball in the air. Doesn't get her glove under it in time. Now you have the speedy Flaherty at first base with one out.
Brings in Janai Kerr. Swats the first for strike one. Well, you look at the Gators recently, over the last couple weeks, they've had some comebacks. Multiple comeback wins, down 4 runs in the late innings. One against LSU, one against Mississippi State. We're down 3 runs on Sunday in the 4th against South Carolina. So it's a lineup that can get going. And we'll see who comes out for the bottom of the 5th. If it is Emma Wilson. Think of the missed opportunities for the Gators and runners left on. Left the bases loaded in the 4th with Corby Otis at the plate. Left 2 on in the 3rd. And it was only a matter of time before Florida State would have an outburst offensively. You see the numbers left on base.
I think what makes this Seminole team so dynamic is they have the power numbers. They're also hitting .344, 3rd best batting average in the ACC, 9th in the country, but also have speed.
On the ground is second. There's one. No, it's dropped by Skylar Wallace. And the runner, well, they say this is on the, wow, they're going to say that's on the transition. And this will be an easy challenge here from Lonnie Alameda, as Wallace, they'll say, had it and then lost it on the transition, according to Anthony Small. 3rd Gator error. 6 runs in.
When you're in these high pressure situations, you can't allow the game to get too big. Got to focus on the little things like watching the ball into your glove in order to even make that double play.
The Gators coming in 34th, or I should say 8th nationally in fielding percentage. 1st in the SEC, 978. First 3 out of the zone.
I think when you look at both coaches, I think they're doing everything to try to hide Rothrock and also FSU on the other side with the 2-headed monster and those 2 lefties in Reed and also in Danley.
Well, it will be Maddie Fry, who came in to pinch run for Katie Dack. And she's going to stay in the game and hit in the 8th spot with the bases loaded. Six runs in this inning. 2 errors from the Gators defensively. And still just 1 out. A big 3-run home run from Issa Torres. Squeeze bunt laid down that hit Fry. Foul ball.
Fry trying to take advantage of the defense on the right side. Trying to get Flaherty to home plate. Such tremendous speed on a...
Outside for ball 2. Maddie Fry, 4 of 16. Start her year at the plate, so not a whole lot of opportunities. Gets a big chance here in a rivalry game with the bases loaded. Rolls this back up the middle. Shovel to second for 1. Walsh bobbles it, and a run will score as Flaherty slides across. So now the Seminoles 7 runs here in the 5th, up 7-2.
The last play, Walsh kind of bobbled it at second base. But a few different errors this inning that could have very well been the difference in this ball game.
Shows how good this Florida State team is at the plate. The patience, the power.
Taking full advantage of this Florida defense right now.
Maya Ross waits on 1-0. Check swing bouncer fell.
And you had Frey, who's at first base now, try to squeeze with bases loaded. And you don't see that often, but just doing anything to get some more insurance runs across, knowing that Florida has a track record in coming back late in the game.
Sharply hit, just foul. You look on the flip side, the Gators obviously have big bats of their own to get back in this game. So I'm sure Florida State looks at it as no lead is safe, especially in this ballpark. And we've seen that as we outline some of the comeback wins in the last few weeks. Grounded to Wallace. Quick throw, not in time. Another run comes in as Kerr scores. That'll be an RBI infield hit for Maya Ross. And it's now 8-2.
We talked about Kenja Falby's speed, but you've got to talk about Amaya Ross and her ability just to get down the line. An infield hit. I mean, she has 23 stolen bases on the year, second in the ACC. Skylar Wallace knew she had to be quick to get her out, but just not quick enough.
How things have turned here in the 5th. Thirteenth batter to the plate in this inning. And Mudge rolls this to the right side. Kistler fields, green light from Fry, the relay, not there in time. Add another for the Noles. It's Kaylee Mudge with an RBI single, a 9-run 5th, and the Seminoles up 7 runs.
Her last at bat, selfless with the sack here, just taking this pitch low in the zone, driving it in the 3-4 hole, getting another RBI, getting some more insurance runs. And the momentum is in the Seminoles' favor right now.
And now Jason E. Beecham can bring in a possible run rule run and powers this to left and gone. The power from the freshman, her 13th long ball. And it's a 12-run frame for the Seminoles. .235 feet off the bat. And it's a party in that Florida State dugout.
Such energy for not only Beecham, but for the whole team. This freshman is just hot. I mean, she comes out, first pitch swinging. This is what she does. Big numbers, big player, big freshman. Mercy Rule territory for the Seminoles.
puts the Gators down to their final 3 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Before I can even explain that, Beecham went yard. Kennedy Hart will pinch hit here for Kaylee Harding. Just amazing. 2 hops to short and a merciful end to the inning for the Gators, but a big one.
Amita.
What a display in that 5th inning. 12 runs. Just looking at the scoreboard, it's jarring. Only 1 hit going into that 5th inning. And the Seminoles unloading on the combination of Mackenzie Wooten and Olivia Miller. As Skylar Wallace trying to fight off a possible run rule. Gators would have to get this to within a 7-run differential. So they need 3 runs in this inning to not get run ruled.
Well, the fact that they put in the freshman Danley on the mound tells me that the Noles want to go home after this inning. Her and McKenna Reed share the brunt of the innings this season. So I can imagine they put her in to close that door.
Got to see the power on display from Jason E. Beecham. All-world freshman. Could be National Freshman of the Year.
She's done so much already in her career. I was looking at her bio, and she has lettered in high school for 7 years, starting in 6th grade. Now, if you're wondering, how did she letter for that many years? Well, she went to a school where the middle school and the high school were joined. So she was able to compete for her high school team as a 6th grade and middle school.
That's a crazy note. Play varsity softball at 6th grade as Wallace walks. Gators will head to Athens, Georgia. Bus to Athens tomorrow for a 3-game set against Georgia. The Seminoles will head back to Tally, take on the North Carolina Tar Heels for a 3-game set. Right now, they're at the top of ACC play at 15-3. The Gators, 12-6 in SEC play, currently 3rd in the league behind Tennessee and Texas A&M. So they're fighting for the opportunity with only 2 weekends left in SEC play to maybe fight themselves for a regular season championship. We'll have to get the taste out of their mouths from tonight against a very good offensive Georgia team. Ball flies out of the ballpark there in Athens. I would expect to see a lot of runs this weekend.
And that it does. Florida's leading in so many different offensive categories in the SEC, but one thing that they are not leading in is home runs. Can you guess who leads in home runs?
In the SEC?
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Georgia.
That's right, yeah.
So we might see some Rockets leave the field this weekend.
Tony Baldwin has done a tremendous job as the head coach there, taking over for Lou Harris-Champer. Retired a few seasons ago after bringing the Dogs to the Women's College World Series. The Gator fans have not given up on this one. They are really giving it to Scott Mayer. The Gators down to their final 3 outs. Need 3 runs in this inning. Erickson fouls this off her foot.
That's never a good feeling. You need to make an Evo shield for the top of your cleat.
Did you wear the shin guard?
I didn't and I don't, and I probably should. I roll over a lot and,
Yeah.
and hit myself, but these players are pros. She hit herself, just hops right back on in, ready to get a hit.
Erickson high, Hopper, nice play at first. Leaping grab by Angeli Bueno, steps on the back for the out.
And a productive out by Erickson. Getting Skylar to second base. Can't jump up here trying to hit a 10-run home run when you're up to bat. These Gators' jobs are to just chip away, be patient, wait for their pitch, not get too anxious to make the ball fly.
And there's Angeli. You know Angeli, right, Alicia?
Yes.
Talked to her in the pregame.
It's a full circle moment for me there. I used to give her lessons growing up.
You feel old
She was a middle
in this
schooler.
situation when you have one of your proteges now playing college softball?
I'm as young as I'll ever be.
By the way, your season starts in June, right? Athletes Unlimited starting up in June.
It does. We'll be starting out in Wichita and back to Rosemont in Illinois following that mini season in AUX. Hope to play with some of these people on the field, these softball players on the field. As Skylar rounds third base, maybe you'll see her in an AU uniform.
Yeah. Wild pitch brings her down third. I'm excited to see what Florida State could do in the postseason this year. The dominance, and once they get to Oklahoma City, they just seem to play better than most. You look at the success. Two of the last 3 seasons they've gotten to the Champ Series. 3 of the last 5 they've been to the Champ Series. Won the national title in 2018. Walsh takes outside, 3-1. They ran into the buzzsaw last year. That is Oklahoma. Texas right now the #1 in the country. And of course, Texas and Oklahoma are heading to the SEC next year. So the top 2 teams are coming to the SEC.
I'm excited.
Walsh pops this up. Shallow right, drops foul.
I'm excited to see what softball will look like next year with so many teams moving.
How about that? Runner-up in 21 and 23. National champs in 2018.
We talked about her ability to just produce All-Americans, having 22 in her career. Multiple ACC pitchers of the year. We talked about Waldrop, we talked about King, and also Sander Cock, who you saw in that series last year.
Walsh lines this to left center. That scores Wallace. Gators get 1. It's now 12-3. So Reagan Walsh is homered. Now an RBI single. That's a great sign. She continues to be red hot.
Reagan doesn't try to do too much. I said you can't get too big in moments like these, especially with the disparity in the score. Your job is to pass the bat, be patient, wait for your pitch, and Reagan Walsh does just that, getting an RBI for the Gators, closing up that score.
Brooke Bernard will pinch run at first. Bring in now Ava Brown, who started the scoring tonight with an RBI double to center field. 12-run 5th inning from Florida State. 2 outs away from a run rule victory.
And a lot of times when you think about those big innings, normally you'll hear of a lot of walks, a lot of hit by pitches, but Florida State just put bat to ball, garnering 8 hits. That is the Florida State team that we know and love down the stretch of season.
And this will do a little bit to help that RPI. Right now, lingering just inside the top 16. And the RPI at 15th. Brown powers this foul. Last run rule in this series, you have to go back to 2013. It was the Gators over the Noles. So if the Seminoles can get the final 2 outs without giving up 2 more runs, this will be the first run rule in this series in 11 years. In the dirt, Bernard moves up to second. Wild pitch.
got two-way players in Ashton Danley and Ava Brown going head-to-head right here.
Did Brown go? She did, said Scott Mayer. So Brown down on strikes, and the Gators down to their final out. Bailey Goddard will be the last hope for the Gators here.
And you'll see a lot of that out of Danley. She does have a lot of downward bite. Great command. Likes to stay lower in the zone as opposed to the McKenna Reeds, who does have a little bit more upspin and more zip on her ball, higher in the zone.
A chance for the veteran Bailey Goddard to get a pinch hit opportunity. Gators 1 run in this inning, 12 runs in the top half of the frame on 8 hits. The Seminoles, 2 big home runs from Torres and Beecham, that freshman left side of the infield. And this would be a decisive 6th consecutive win in this series for Florida State.
And I just love, every time I look up, I'm looking at the defense and Torres, Flaherty, Bueno, and Beecham just making their way to Danley, just giving her words of encouragement, communicating with her.
Goddard, left side, Beecham. Toss across, ball game. The Seminoles run rule the Gators, their 6th straight win in